The LG C1, arguably one of the best TVs on the market since its release over a year ago. But does it still hold up today? In this video, I'm going to try and answer that question for you. So let's get started. First off, we're going to do a quick unboxing of the LG C1. So this is the front of the box. It's an OLED TV, 48-inch. Here's some of the specs. Let's go ahead and get into the box real quick. All right, go ahead and cut in the tape to open the top. Once you open the box, you'll be greeted with one part of the stand. This stand does require a little bit of an assembly, so we'll do that later on. But this is the base part of it. There you have it. Next up is the back cover. This is to hide the screws needed for the stand. Next up will be your accessories. This will be the manuals and the controller. It does include two AA batteries. So let's go ahead and get into that as I struggle here. So there's the manual and setup guide and some warranty information. And here is the controller. Pretty nice controller, I must say. And then might as well take out the two AA batteries. There's the two AA batteries. Now we're going to lift the top foam piece. Now before we take the TV out of the box, we do need to set up the stand. So this is the back piece, the front piece of the stand. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So you're going to flip the stand over and it goes underneath in the front. As you see, as I do, you put it underneath and then line it up and then apply the screws. There are 3 screws that you put in to hold it in place. Okay, so this is what it will look like when it's correctly placed on the TV stand, but we have to flip it to complete the installation. So now we're going to take the TV out of the box and turn it around to mount it onto the stand. So let's go ahead and do that now. So as you see, we're going to line it up, and you have to rack it in top first, and then you put the bottom portion in. So first I'm gonna take off the protective cover. All right, to install the stand, like I said, rack it in, put the top in, then press the bottom in, then install the 4 screws that are left, and then install the back cover to complete the installation process. Okay, here's the back of the TV. As you see, we have some ports. We have a HDMI 2.1, some USB ports, those are 2.0. You have your Ethernet and an optical. Then on the side, you have 3 more HDMI 2.1 ports and another USB 2.0 port, the old standard. Okay, let's begin the setup. So we're going to turn on the TV and do all the setup processes, show you what it looks like and all that's needed to set it up. So we're going to let it boot up here and go through the traditional setup. I do recommend connecting to a Wi-Fi network to update everything, apps, firmware, to get the best experience. I skipped it in this video just to save time, but I do highly recommend adding your Wi-Fi network and installing and updating everything that's on the TV. Okay, so we're going to continue completing this setup, and then I'll be back once everything is complete to go over the menus and the TV software. Okay, now that setup is complete, we're gonna go ahead and look at the menu real quick. This is the main screen you're greeted with. We're gonna do a few things. We're gonna check out the menu, and then we're gonna hook up a PS5 to show you the 2.1 port in action. So this is the quick menu, and then this is the main menu. Nothing's gonna work because I didn't set up an internet connection, but when you set up, everything's gonna load like your traditional smart TV. So let's go ahead and set up the PS5 real quick to show you the 2.1 port in action. Okay, so we're gonna turn on the PS5 now that we set it up. We'll go ahead and switch over to it. It's showing you that it's connected. It's going to ask you to set up the HDR because this does have HDR 10 and Dolby Vision. So let's go ahead and set that up real quick. Okay, we're at the PlayStation home screen. Now, PlayStation does not show 120 Hz when you're on the home screen because it doesn't refresh that high. So you have to launch a game that is compatible. As you see here, it's at 4K 60. So I'm going to launch up Call of Duty because that's the only game that we have right now that is 4K 120. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So let the game load. Okay, now that the game is loaded, we're going to go back into settings. And we're going to go to sound and screen. Video information, and as you see, it's 4K 120. It does have also a lot of other features that Sony added, like variable refresh rate and of course HDR. So this TV is fully capable of all the latest features, and I'll go over more of it later on in the video. So let's go ahead and get back to the TV menu with an internet connection set up this time. So now that we demonstrated the HDMI 2.1 feature, let's go ahead and go over what this TV can do. So it is an OLED TV at 48 inches. So that means the contrast ratio is going to be infinite. It's also a smart TV, so it has all your favorite streaming apps. And it also has voice assistant, so Google Assistant, Alexa, and it does work with HomeKit. It does have AirPlay 2 for Apple users, so if you need to mirror your phone. It is also HDR10 and Dolby Vision HDR compatible. So this TV basically has all of it on it. As you see, we are messing with some of the apps, and at some point we're going to go to YouTube and demonstrate that you can launch the apps from the TV. The controller also has voice control on it, so if you don't want to type anything, you can just talk to it and it'll send it to the TV. So the question we have in the beginning of the video is this TV worth it 1 year later? And I would definitely have to say yes. It is still one of the best TVs on the market. At OLED, it has some of the best colors. It has an infinite contrast ratio. It's also now really affordable since it's 1 year old. So I definitely do think this TV is worth the money, especially now. And if you find it at the right place, you can get it even cheaper than its retail at $9.99. You can find it even cheaper. So I definitely think this TV is worth every cent that you spend on it. It is still one of the best TVs you can buy, even though it's a year old. And even if you want to upgrade, you can get the newer model, the C2 version, but I don't think it's really worth it. I think this TV still holds strong. And as you see, we're in YouTube, just showing you that you can use the controller and all the apps right on the TV. One thing to consider also is that this is an OLED TV. So if you're in a living room that's bright, it is not recommended you get this TV because it cannot get that bright thanks to it being OLED. So do keep in mind your positioning of this TV. As you can also see, it is pretty glossy, so that doesn't help either. So make sure that when you buy this TV, it is in a room that it can be treated for light control, because it is pretty hard to see during the day if you're in a bright room. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope this video helped you in making your decision on whether to buy this TV. Please like and subscribe, as it really helps me out. Peace.